Welcome back to Historic Coin, your ultimate destination for discovering the hidden stories behind the world's rarest and most fascinating coins. Today, we're diving into the world of Canadian currency to explore a coin that might look ordinary, but is anything but. This tiny piece of copper has seen history unfold, held the image of a young queen, and carried more secrets than most people realize. We're talking about the 1968 Canadian 1-cent coin, a coin you may have overlooked in your change jar, but by the end of this video, you'll see it in a whole new light. If you're a coin collector, a history lover, or just someone who's curious about old money, this video is for you. So sit tight, because every second of this video is packed with interesting facts, hidden values, minting mysteries, and collecting tips. Don't skip a second. You never know what gem of knowledge you'll find. Coin Design Overview. The 1968 Canadian 1-cent coin is a masterpiece of simplicity and symbolism. On one side, you'll see two beautiful maple leaves sprouting from a single twig, an iconic image deeply tied to Canadian identity. These leaves aren't just decoration. They represent unity and strength, themes that define Canada's spirit. The words 1 cent and 1968 are clearly printed above and below the leaves, along with Canada at the bottom. The design was originally created by George Edward Kruger Gray and has been a staple on Canadian pennies for decades. It's a design that instantly connects with anyone familiar with Canadian heritage, and it's this visual identity that gives the coin lasting power among collectors. The Queen's Portrait. Flip the coin over and you'll find a youthful portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, facing to the right. This elegant image was designed by Arnold Machin, a British sculptor whose work appeared on millions of coins across the Commonwealth. The Queen's portrait is surrounded by the Latin inscription Elizabeth II dig Regina, which translates to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen. This version of her portrait was used on Canadian coins from 1965 to 1989, marking a long era of royal continuity. The Queen's serene profile, with her hair neatly tied back, gives the coin a regal and timeless feel. This makes the coin not just currency, but a royal artifact. Metal composition. One of the fascinating aspects of the 1968 Canadian penny is its metal composition. That year marked a transition in materials. Some 1968 pennies were struck in bronze, a mixture of copper, tin, and zinc, while others were made with almost pure copper, up to 98% copper in some cases. Because of this shift, collectors often check the coin's weight to determine its exact makeup. Bronze coins typically weigh around 3.24 grams. Over time, the value of the copper itself can exceed the coin's face value, especially as copper prices fluctuate in global markets. So yes, this coin could be worth more than 1 cent. Literally. Historical context. Let's take a moment to go back to 1968, a year of global change and cultural revolutions. In Canada, Pierre Trudeau had just become Prime Minister, launching what's now known as Trudeau-mania. Around the world, people were protesting wars, walking on the moon, and grooving to the Beatles. Against this backdrop, the humble 1-cent coin was quietly being minted, carrying the weight of history in its small, round form. Holding this coin is like holding a snapshot of a pivotal moment in time, a tiny time capsule from a very different world. Minting details. In 1968, the Canadian 1-cent coin was produced at the Royal Canadian Mint, primarily in Ottawa. That year, over 335 million 1-cent coins were minted. That's a massive number, which means many of these coins are still floating around today. However, only a small fraction remain in good condition. Coins that have been preserved well, especially those that haven't been circulated, are far more valuable to collectors. If you come across a mint condition coin from this year, consider it a small treasure. Coin variants and rarities. Although the 1968 penny is common, certain errors and variants can make it extremely valuable. For example, coins that were misstruck or have doubling on the date or lettering are considered rare collector's items. Some coins also show signs of die cracks or planche flaws, making them highly sought after by error coin enthusiasts. So, if you've got a 1968 penny, take a magnifying glass and inspect it carefully. You might be holding a rare and profitable mistake. Collector value today. So, how much is a 1968 Canadian 1-cent coin worth today? In circulated condition, it's usually worth around 2 to 5 cents. But if you find one in uncirculated or mint condition, it could be worth $1 to $5 or more, depending on the buyer. Error coins and proofs can sell for even higher prices. While it may not make you a millionaire, this penny has certainly outgrown its face value in the world of numismatics. Grading and preservation. Collectors use a grading scale from poor P1 to mint state MS70 to assess coin condition. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. A 1968 penny graded MS65 or higher can fetch a great price. To maintain value, coins should be stored in a dry, clean environment, preferably in a coin flip or holder. Avoid touching them with bare hands, as the oils can cause long-term damage. Every scratch reduces value, so treat these coins like tiny works of art. Comparing with other years. Compared to Canadian pennies from other years, the 1968 edition stands out due to its transition period in metal use and its high mintage. Earlier years, like 1920 or 1936, are rarer, while later coins saw changes in design and composition. The 1968 coin bridges the gap between classic and modern Canadian coinage, making it a favorite for collectors building a historical timeline. It's affordable, but rich in backstory. Why collect this coin? The 1968 penny is perfect for new collectors because it's easy to find, inexpensive, and has a lot of educational value. It introduces you to topics like minting processes, metal composition, historical events, and grading systems. And for experienced collectors, it offers the thrill of the hunt, finding error coins or high-grade versions. It's not just a coin, it's a starting point for an entire journey through Canadian history. Final thoughts and call to action. So next time you see a 1968 Canadian penny, don't just toss it aside. Take a moment to appreciate the artistry, the history, and the story it carries. These coins are silent witnesses to decades of change and continue to fascinate collectors around the world. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin history, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Historic Coin. Your support keeps these rare stories alive. Drop a comment below if you've got one of these coins. We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, keep collecting, keep exploring, and remember, every coin has a story, and every story is worth telling.